5 o'clock on a Friday means Rewatchers Council, the Angel Edition. Snark here. Glad to be with you. Glad to be talking some Angel. This has been a fun stretch of the show, and it's always made a little more fun when I'm joined by Brennen Marr. Brennen, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing good. This should be fun.
Yeah. So, we're going to be talking Season 2, Episode 19, Belonging. This is a start of an arc that's going to run through to the end of the season. And then I know you haven't seen any of these episodes before, so it's going to be curious what do you think is going to be coming up after this.
Yes, it should be interesting.
Yeah. Now, this one, original air date is May Day of 2001. Written by Sean Ryan. This is the last episode he writes for the show. He had that executive producer credit throughout the entire season. Ended up, I think he wrote 5 episodes. The last one he did before this was The Thin Dead Line. Of course, he leaves from here to go and start up The Shield. He's the executive producer and the showrunner for The Shield, which was also a great show. He's done plenty of things since, but really, if you want to consider Nash Bridges maybe his start, I think this is the thing that gave him the real push going into television. Directed by Turi Meyer. This is the first time he directs an episode for Angel. He directs 3 in total, all of them one word ending in ing, which I thought was kind of curious. He'll also direct an episode of Buffy in its 6th season. Let's see, some of the things he's done. We worked on Smallville and Candyman, Day of the Dead. He's more known for writing and producing things. Like he was an executive producer, I guess, as well in Smallville. Stargirl, if you remember that DC show from Prime, I think it was on.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Hawaii Five-0, he's done some stuff for. The Vampire Diaries, which I thought was fun, and most recently Griselda on Netflix there. I think that just ran last year, so he's still going well. So, for the guest star alert, could have went for the Landau guy. He was in quite a bit of it, but instead, I picked Kevin Otto, who's that bastard commercial director, the one that, if I had the chance, I'd run over with my car, and I'd have zero problems with it.
I would run him over as well.
Attaboy, yeah. So obviously, if he brings out that kind of rage in you, then he probably did a pretty good job. Yeah, he's been in a few things. He was in last year's Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die with Sam Rockwell. He was also in Boy Kills World, which came out a couple of years ago. Chappie, if you remember that one. And, of course, the all-time classic, Brendan. Free Willy, Escape from Pirate's Cove.
I don't know that one.
I don't think anybody does, but it does star Bindi Irwin. Okay.
Oh my word, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's branching out. She isn't crocodile hunting, she's killer whale saving. You know what I mean, in these ones. So.
Continuing her dad's legacy.
I suppose so. Just watch out for stingrays. Now, belonging here. So it's going to start out. They're going to take Cordy out for a nice meal here. She's landed herself a national commercial.
Unfortunately, not doing anything of real importance.
It's not of real importance, but the money that could come in from a national spot could be of real importance, and this is something that she's been fighting for ever since she got to LA. She opts to go for the sashimi, which I think is delicious. I love me a sashimi. But in my life, I've never heard of a couscous sashimi. It doesn't make any sense.
That's a bit much, yes.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, is the couscous like you on the side and you have it after you take the fish from the salt? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. But Angel Stairs, the whole gang he's a little uncomfortable with the surroundings. He says he's not one for crowds. it seems. But they toast, and he has the biggest smile on his face. So I suppose he's found a moment to enjoy while he's there, anyways. So even breaks out the Irish accent at one point when talking about having a few bob. You can get a leg of lamb or whatever the heck he was talking about. Now, uh, this is like her going to this commercial is going to leave the guys here to search for something called a Hacklar demon that was in a vision of hers. Then Angel I don't know what this whole bit was about, but Angel mistakes a shawl a lady is wearing for some kind of battle armor and accuses her of being some kind of witch. Then Cordy has to say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's $1,000 designer shawl," and she seems not like you would imagine. A strange man grabs you and starts calling you a witch in a restaurant. You're gonna say something. You think he's pretty calm about it, which is nice to see. Especially people get freaked out about everything. Uh,
Yeah, that was strange. Yes.
yeah, but of course, Cordy then immediately rejects the couscous sashimi. Makes me think that maybe there was something else to it. I think there's like a 24-hour incubation period before you get sick from food poisoning.
Yeah. Well, it's corny.
The immediate expulsion lends me to believe that it might be something else. Plus, here's the other thing. Angel's going on and on about how expensive things are. That sashimi costs $19.
Yeah, that's nothing today.
Today, it seems like nothing. I guess you have to transpose yourself to 2001 and think, fish on a
Yeah.
salt liquid.
Inflation.
Yeah,
Inflation.
I suppose that's it. Maybe it's like $30 or something like that. Even that's still
Maybe
not.
tariffs weren't so high back then.
Don't get me started. Maybe it was local. If it's a local caught fish in California.
Hey, our buddy Ryan Christensen is in the chat.
Oh, Ryan Christian. Speaking of tariffs, you know what I mean? What's he have to say for himself here? The two most intelligent people of TV and movies out
Well,
there.
thank you. That's very, very kind of you.
I'll be slipping him a loony later for such nice words. Now,
Hmm.
we they all go back to the hotel after we get the credits. Ferris likes the credits for Angel better than he likes the Buffy credits. I think I'm not sure.
That's a hard call. That's a hard call.
Yeah, I enjoy the fiddle, but the Buffy one kind of sticks with me. Anyways, we'll find out Wes is not having a great relationship with his dad. His dad seems to look down his nose at him, calls him on his birthday, and is excited for leading the group as it is, but yeah, it just seems to get a little shame from his father or whatever. So never a great conversation to have. Oh, and the thing, you get very excited about something, and somebody cuts the legs out from under you, especially someone you're supposed to trust the most. You know what I mean? And then Angel decides to go on set for Cordy's commercial here somehow. You can get around the sunlight quite easily, it seems, in Los Angeles. I'm imagining because they said that she had to be there at like 4:30 in the morning. So you can imagine it's about 7 o'clock or so. Anyways, she's there. He gets to soak in the nice fake beach and the fake sun.
Yes, and she's barely wearing a swimsuit.
Yes, they have a moment later when they all think of that, and it's like, okay, guys, relax here.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is definitely before the Me Too movement.
yeah, when he's sitting there and he has his face up and he has a big smile and he's just soaking in the sun, I thought, it hasn't been that long since he had a chance to hang out in the sun. He had that ring, I believe, in the first season and stuff. He could, made him impervious. He's the one who decided to get rid of it. You know what I mean? He could have been doing this the entire time if he wanted. But anyways, maybe he'll have a chance to catch some rays here coming up soon. So now, this is where we get to see the director and how much of a piece of crap he is.
And it felt a little like maybe the creator of the show.
I was going to bring up a point. I don't think they had to look far for inspiration for this man, if you know what I mean. And with Sean Levy going to another show, maybe it was just a little thing that's fallen now.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, treats Cordelia like garbage here, and nothing is quite good enough. And he's commenting on the bags under her eyes, and the last one she says she ate and stuff. Yeah, he's a terrible person. Angel, I think quite nicely suggests he could pull the man's skull from his body.
I would have liked to see that.
Yeah, that would have been a very nice thing to see. Uh, you know, but we can't get all good things here, Brennan.
And criticizing Chris Carpenter is like a no-no.
Yeah, something you don't do. It is it's a dangerous road to walk. Anyways, she's the one who says, "You know what, Angel, you gotta beat it. Like, come on, it's my big chance here." And then he just all he wanted was more disgusting info on that Hacklar. But it's what happens when it, eats and mates, usually at the same time and stuff like that. But she didn't even give an answer. So, gun.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's not. You know what? That's two things. Usually, keep it separate. I'm just saying. Gunn wants info on the Hockler as well. West gives a very detailed account of its appearance. He's also going to talk about the meeting house and stuff like that. Let's just say, yeah, those Hacklers are efficient. They, what they do. So Gunn just wanted to know how to kill it. He didn't need the whole rundown and stuff like that. The old slice and dice. Pretty basic stuff. Getting rid of the Hackler. I could have told you that, for goodness sakes. And then Gunn's buddies who show up at the office. Of course, they're the ones that also helped Wesley when he got shot by that zombie cop, which is a fun sentence to say. Turns out there's a new vampire pack hunting around this homeless park. There's homeless camps in this park that's near there. They want to borrow Gunn's truck, the one that's super laid out and needs to have machine guns and stuff like that.
The one that's like Army of Darkness.
Funny you'll say that. Let's hold that Army of Darkness thought for at least an episode. So, anyways, yeah, they've set a trap. They just need to borrow the truck. Gunn wants to go with them, but Angel shows up just then. He has the current whereabouts on that Hacklar, which way is Gunn gonna go? Where he is now, where he was. He decides to go with Angel. His buddies, guilt trip him on the way out, stuff like that. Just throw the guys the keys. You know what I mean? He wants them to wait till he's done. He gets so we get the little series latest installment now of people just crapping on actors. Like, this has been a thing since the first season. Every time there's talk about acting or actors, they sit around and the characters just kind of bash at it. This is what happens here, and then they get the daydreaming about Cordelia in the swimsuit.
Yeah. Yep.
We get to see the host over at Caritas. I'm going to say this. That is the least soulful version of superstition I have ever heard.
Yes, I think I prefer the original.
Yeah, I would even go like the Stevie Ray Vaughan version would have more soul. Even like that was just not the best choice. But in the middle of it, the crowd starts going nuts for no reason. He hasn't done anything special, I wouldn't think. But also, this portal opens up right behind him, and some ugly dude gets pooped out of it, and then starts trying to hurt folks before it runs out. I don't know how it's hurting folks inside Caritas.
I've never been to a concert like that.
Well, I've been to a couple concerts where I've thought I've seen things like that. Turns out, nope, something else is going on. So, over at that commercial, the director is continuously being a pig here. Cordy keeps taking it, and I think maybe that's one of the hardest things to see in this stuff, or how headstrong Cordelia chases.
And of course, this is 25 years ago, so
That's true, but she's you just see her take it. She see her take it, and then we go back to the hotel. Angel and Wes are returning from dealing with that demon. Of course, everything happens Off screen, you see Cordelia there. She gives Angel crap again for butting in. He apologizes for embarrassing her, but she says she was just embarrassing herself. She never wanted to do acting like that. Good. As where Gunn is, they're like, oh, he went to, he went with his buddies. That demon's dead, by the way. Unfortunately, before he ate these power walkers that were going around, and they really go off on power walkers here too. Unfortunately, they killed him before they ate any of the power walkers, and one of the power walkers ended up hitting Wesley in the eye. For God's sakes!
Of course.
So yeah, you never. I guess you can't ever trust a power walker. I did like the saying.
Amelia's in the chat.
She's saying, hey, everyone. Hey,
Hello.
yourself. Yeah. I did like how Angel just says, run faster for a shorter distance. It's like, yeah, there you go. You know what? It's all about, getting that time in. So,
I'm totally cool with eating power walkers.
oh my God. For a little bit, I was thinking about Power Rangers for the Power
Oh,
Walkers. I'd be fine with either one. I'd be fine with either one. Never saw a single minute of Power Rangers. I've never understood it. So there you are. It just missed me.
I watched it for a little while.
Yeah, I missed it in that generation. It just, never paid attention. I started watching this instead. Anyways, now the host is going to walk in here. He wants a little help with this demon that got pooped out there. He's called a Draken, and he wants to double down on these guys. You have to kill this thing. This thing can't stay alive. Isn't sure where it is either, by the way, but he knows that this bloody thing's going to be hungry. And then you cut to that demon's ugly face and the weird long arms. This is another one of the angel demons that just has weirdly long arms, and something about that just always creeps me out, and I don't know why. Anyways, they're tearing apart a couple of dudes on the sidewalk. Angel and Wesley start asking questions to the host. Who just keeps reminding him you have to kill this thing. Angel questions how it used violence at Caritas, and then host is going to pull back a little bit, and the severity, just about the severity of the attacks in there. Angel then agrees, okay, we're going to go with this thing. Starts putting it together a plan, and of course, Cordy has to correct him. It's not his place to do these plans anymore, Brennan. He handed over the keys to the shop to Wesley, who thinks about it for a second. But Wesley just uses Angel specs anyways. And then Cordy is gonna get a vision here, Brennan, of a lady librarian. Nothing. Nothing too important as
A
of yet.
rather attractive lady librarian.
Sure. Because the host wants to bring the focus back to that Draken, but Cordy mentions that there was a portal behind the lady. So it's all gotta be connected together. Here, Brennan. Off to the library they go once again. Now, Gunn meets up with his group. Turns out his friends jumped the gun. They're a little antsy to get at these vampires, you know what I mean? And so he has some fun with words and stuff like that because they jumped the gun, you know what I mean? But seriously, his buddy George was killed by a vampire, and now they're waiting to see if he rises. One of the worst waits you can have, you know what I mean? Like the watch pot never boils, and
oh yes,
a bitten buddy, might turn into a vampire. Two of the worst ways. Anyways, Angel et al. They'll go to the library. The host is going to mention how he and Angel, when they hang out, they usually do end up in libraries together, which is true. Once again, he stands out. This time he can't blame, being a school mascot, but the librarian on duty there kind of helps him out and says, yeah, you must be here for the children's reading festival. It's like, yeah, yeah.
I used to do that.
And did you have the green makeup and the horns?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, that's too bad. All right. Now, Cordy's going to describe the girl to this librarian. Then she mentions that it has an apple locket. And she says, hey, someone named Fred had something like that there. And then shows them an article about how Fred disappeared from that very library 5 years earlier. Also, just throws out there for no reason she was studying to be a physicist. So, well, all right. And then she just spontaneously disappears while putting some books away and stuff like that in the language section, foreign language section. Lorne now, again, he's getting antsy about this Drock, and he wants to try that circle pattern thing that Angel pitched and close in on this thing. But as he's saying it, Cordelia automatically finds this book, which the librarian Fred there had been reading before and stuff like that. I don't know if that's just good luck. I don't know if something drew her to it. But either way, she grabs the book. It seems that the last day it was used was the day that Fred girl vanished. Cordy tries to read it. Though you can see the coast, not too comfortable with all of this. And then all of a sudden, a portal pops up behind Cordelia. She starts screaming. This time, though, it's another green-skinned dude with a sword that jumps out and starts swinging it. But as it turns out, it's the host's cousin, Landok. Brennan.
Yes, indeed.
Then we finally get to hear the host's name on the show, and I can quit calling him the host because it's been driving me nuts for the last, 18 episodes is the 19th, right? Krevlorn Swath of the Deathlock clan, but of course he prefers Lorne.
Lorne Green. Lorne Green.
So, funny thing, Lorne Green, he says, that's what Angel is. Oh, Lorne Green. No one remembers Bonanza. Of course, I remember Battlestar Galactica.
I remember him.
I remember Battlestar Galactica most. But here's the other thing. I have an older brother named Lorne, who was named because my mother, after she gave birth to him, was looking through a TV guide, had a picture of Lorne Green on it, and boom. So there you go. Two guys named Lorne dealing with Lorne Green.
I mean, Lorne Green was in everything back in the day.
Yeah. In Canada here, he had a show called Lorne Green's New Wilderness. It was just like a nature show about animals and stuff like that was on every week. Watched it every damn time. So, Landok now is going to offer to kill the Angel crew with their Lorne's captors, which is nice. You haven't seen your cousin in a bit. Just murder these people for him. Lorne says that, no, these guys are friends. Landok tells the story about how Lorne disappeared and his clan hoped he'd killed himself while seeking atonement for the embarrassment he's done to his, birth giver or something like that. Lorne is like, hey, we got to get out of here. We got to skedaddle. Landok asks if he was abducted to this place as well. Lorne says he came through a portal, kind of similar to the one he had here, buddy. Landok wants them to return together. Lorne has zero interest in doing that. And they keep not saying the place's name, which is going to also drive me nuts because they'll say it in the next episode, don't worry. And then we learn that Lorne somehow brought shame upon his mother again, who destroys images of Lorne, feeds them to animals, then feeds the animals to dogs, which is a pretty harsh thing for your mother to do. You know what I mean? That's worse than being told that she isn't mad, she's disappointed.
Oh, that's the worst one.
Well, I don't know. Feeding your image to animals just so they can be eaten by dogs is pretty bad. The gang want to know more.
Getting that disappointed look from your mother, that's the worst.
Oh, I guess you're right. That's true. The gang wanted to know more about his cowardice and stuff like that, but Lorne mentions that there's Draken again. It's like, don't forget about this. And now Landok is all for killing the Draken. All that's needed, of course, is a thromite-tipped weapon. It should be readily available on Earth, but it turns out, of course, it doesn't exist on Earth. So now it's a little tougher. It's going to take a mighty blow to kill a Draken without a throwmite tipped weapon, of course. But Landok will have no problem tracking the Draken in the meantime, because Landok can actually read the hostility that his enemies emit. Lorne, of course, went a different way. Similar, but different. You know what I mean? So they're going to lead him off to start the search here. Gunn, checking in on him real quick here, drives his truck full of wood to a spot his remaining buddy Rondell's at. Jumps out and gives him crap for not waiting. You understand, your buddy's gone and stuff like that, and all it took was a little bit more patience. But no. Anyways, they're gonna, he's gonna get guilt tripped in return for his absence of late. He's been spending too much time, it seems, with Angel and Co. and not enough on the streets doing the dirty work, at the ground level, I guess. Then they just start adding wood to a giant pile that they've been building. So I wonder what that could be about. Landok is now knows that the Drakens ate recently. Then Lorne explains about the two different kind of psychic powers they have. Then he begins to describe his home to Angel, and I love Angel in this scene, how he's just looking away, and he's just like, he can just imagine it. This is paradise for him. Everything is in black and white. There's no gray. The champions fight for justice while roaming the countryside. And the camera starts panning in on him just a little bit too. Fantastic. It's a place where emotions aren't even mentioned. Lorne asks if he could imagine living there. Angel says not really. Unconvincingly, I would say, when he says he's couldn't really see himself living there. Not so convinced. Anyways, Wesley can't find Gunn. Cordy isn't worried, though. She's worried that they're missing something big instead. There's something that's going on here, not just a monster. Landok picks up the Draken's aura now, and he and Lorne are going to get into it. Turns out while the others were out hunting beasts, Lorne was hunting for something else down by the riverside. If you catch my drift.
Yes, and not down by the river to pray. Not
Oh,
that.
oh my goodness, no. Anyways, Landok stops though to mention that the beast has grabbed some more grub here. He can even sense that. That's pretty good. So they pull up to a pallet yard, of all places, and find it the Draken very quickly, with its still living snack being pulled behind it. Angel asks Wesley for the plan. Wesley is a little unsure here. He isn't too confident about what to do, which is fair. You're doing
Yes,
something you have no books on.
Wesley's leadership skills are questionable.
Well, yeah, I'd say a little bit. Angel has a few years on him in charge. So, anyways, he considers using a flare for diversion, but Landok isn't having it. Landok is all about the
Oh,
hunt.
Alexis Stanislav did do good for himself in real life.
He did all right. He did okay, and they're still together. It was one of the most successful celebrity relationships, that's for sure. And anyways, Landok starts running after this thing. Wes is now concerned about the lack of a plan in general, but Landok has his sword, which is important, and he's just going to start swinging at it. The thing bites him, which is rude. Angel then arrives. He's going to get swat off. He's going to grab Landok's sword, though. But the lady food there, the captor, is also going to take off at this time. You figure it's a while. She should be plenty far away from here by now. Let's hold on to that for just 1 minute. Lorne and Wes are going to find Landok. Lorne knows that the Draken's bite is very venomous to his people. And the only cure, unfortunately, back on his home world. Oh boy. Angel, meanwhile. And like they say, the only cure is there. Do they ever look for this stuff while they're on Earth? No. It very well could be there. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just called something else. Anyways, just wanted to mention that.
King's foil, if you get the reference.
There you are. Now, Angel has been hanging in there with this Draken beast, but he's going to get knocked down, and the Draken now is going to lumber after that woman. While Wes and Angel now we're going to search by flare light, as the Draken is going to go up into the stacks of these pallets and go over top of them. It turns out the Draken might be smarter than the two heroes here. Now, we see this woman run by again, who should have been way out of there, but it looks like she's just been running around in circles like the pallet places a maze or something like that. Wesley sees her. He's going to follow her. For some reason, Wes doesn't call out to her at all. He doesn't say anything until she stops at a stack and starts screaming because the Draken is, right there behind poor Wesley. Knocks him down. You get to see his big ugly face right at you. He's going to stick the flare in his mouth, and the Draken just eats it. Still on fire. I would imagine fire would hurt.
That was very strange, yes.
Yeah. And now, Angel is back. He's going to fight it again. He's going to land a series of punches, and then he's going to get hit himself. He's going to drop that sword, and he's going to get pushed, then picks up the sword, and just throws the sword at the Draken. It goes through his throat, and that's it. All of this. It didn't take that mighty of a blow. It just took a thrown sword, for goodness sake. So anyways, they all head back to the car now. Landog demands that Lorne do the rituals if he dies. Lorne's like, nah, I have zero interest in doing this. Sorry, buddy. And they're like, well, no one's going to die. They're going to figure this thing out anyways. Cordy knows that the book can do it. The visions are all telling her if he reads it where a portal was, it'll show up again, and it sure won't bring anything with it at all. This time it's going the other way. I guess it's one-way tickets either way. So we now see what that whole wood mess was about. Turns out Gunn and all his buddies built a funeral pyre for their pal just down there under the bridge. Like Anakin Skywalker, Brennan.
Yes, indeed.
This week on Rewatchers Council, we have Willow as Emperor Palpatine, and now we have a funeral pyre like Darth Vader's, for goodness sakes. Then back to Caritas. Angel's going to give Landok the book here, the weird writing in it that people can seem to pronounce somehow. He tells Angel he's happy to know him, which is a nice thing, for a guy who isn't supposed to have emotions, saying he's happy to know somebody. I think it's pretty good. He begins reading it. Sure enough, a portal's going to pop up. He disappears. Great, he's back home. Only problem is, turns out, Cordelia somehow got sucked into this thing as well. She's disappeared. And when we see her again, she's in a new world that, it's not Kansas anymore.
I mean, it looks like the forest moon of Endor.
That's true. There's more Star Wars references to come. We'll say there's a whole Wizard of Oz things and stuff like that. The next episode, guys, is Over the Rainbow. And there's another movie that you brought up that always reminds me of, or whatever, with this whole little batch episodes coming up here as we start getting closer to the end of season 2. Lots of stuff happening on Angel. Lots of stuff happening on Rewatchers Cancel. Glad I did the show with you today, Brennan. Why don't you tell people what you're up to here on the good old internet?
Well, you can find me on Bluesky, BrennenMarr.bluesky.social. Apple Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube at Page Turners They Were Not.
Fantastic. Thanks, buddy. We're going to be back next week. Thursday live at 5 Central for Buffy. Fridays live at 5. We have Angel right here on Rewatchers Cancel. On the sports channel, Good Friends Better Rivals, I will be discussing the upcoming World Cup this week as the Premier League still in recess while the internationals were going on. We have FA Cup stuff going on this weekend. So we'll be discussing the newly complete World Cup rosters. We'll pick some winners out of this. I would like to think Canada would do all right. I'll just go with one win. I would like them to just win once for the first time ever. I'd be happy with that. Of course, I'm going to pick them to win, though. Who are we kidding? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here. And in the words of good old Landok of the Deathlock clan, why don't you like and subscribe, and we'll catch you all next time.